Hi, my name's Catherine. I'm a dietitian with the North Simcoe Family Health Team. Today we're going to be making a chickpea curry with cauliflower, sweet potato, peppers, carrots, and I've added a zucchini in because I had it on hand. We're going to have some flavor with the garlic and some spices, so some curry powder. And for the sauce, we are going to use a tomato base with a coconut milk as well and a little bit of a vegetable broth. I've chosen to do a chickpea, which is a legume, instead of tofu, which the original recipe called for on ambitiouskitchen.com. I do really like chickpeas, so it's a great option if you don't love tofu, or you can try it with tofu if you prefer. In order to make a chickpea a complete protein, you do want to pair it with a grain. So today I'm going to cook a basmati rice to have the curry on, and that will make it a complete protein. This recipe, because it is vegetarian, it does fall in line with the Mediterranean diet. And this diet is a pattern that can improve our heart health, help to manage our blood sugars, and it is based on a lot of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, these plant-based proteins, as well as plant-based fats, coming from things like avocados, oils, olive oil, and nuts and seeds. This recipe calls for 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to show you a technique how I use the flat edge of the knife, and I press down on it to break the skin off. And then I'm going to give it a good squeeze to get some of those nice flavors going, and then I'll just mince the garlic. Next, I'm going to chop up all the vegetables and throw them in this bowl because they're all going into the pot at the same time. I'm going to put together the spice blend. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of curry. I'm going to use a half teaspoon of cumin and salt. Because I'm adding salt, most of my other products I'm using, like the chickpeas and the broth, are salt-free. That's one way you can just modify how much sodium is in your diet. The turmeric adds a lot of nice color as well as the curry. I'm also going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And the original recipe does call for fresh ginger, but again, I don't have that on hand, so I'm going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of the ground ginger. So this is the spices all blended together, and that's going to go in with the vegetables once they've been sauteed for about 10 minutes, which we'll do now. So next I've just heated up a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to add the vegetables to it and saute them for about 10 minutes or until the carrot starts to soften. So now that the veggies are starting to soften, I've been stirring continuously on medium-high heat. I'm going to add our blend of spices that we put together and give that a good stir. Lots of great smells coming right now, which is a good sign. These are cooking. Very fragrant. And we're going to add 1/2 cup of tomato sauce. We're going to do 1 can of coconut milk. I've chosen one with the ingredients that are just pure coconut. You can read the labels to see which ones are just the coconut, but this is the brand I like. And then we're going to do 1/2 cup of vegetable broth. So you can just use the same measuring spoon. And then I'll give it a good mix. And then we're going to simmer this for about 20 minutes so that the rest of the vegetables can fully cook through. In the meantime, I will prepare my basmati rice. Basmati is a low glycemic starch, which again is really great for managing your blood sugars. Now I'm going to prepare our rice. So I'm using 1 cup of basmati rice, and you need 2 cups of liquid. I'm going to do a cup of water, and then I'll also measure on a cup of vegetable broth to add a little bit of extra flavor. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 10 to 12 minutes. Everything's cooking right now. We're underway. I just wanted to add a quick note about how long this can last in the fridge. Probably about 3 to 4 days, but often I will just freeze whatever I don't get through. Right off the bat, maybe in individual portions, you can reheat at a later date. It freezes really well, so it's an awesome meal if you're cooking for 1 or 2 people. So I've just rinsed off the chickpeas under cold water, and I'm going to add them to the curry. It doesn't really need to cook, but it is good to get them in there to develop some of the flavors, and I'm just going to give that a stir and then put the lid back on for the remainder of the time to let it simmer. So it's been simmering for about 20 minutes. The rice is cooked. I'm going to serve about a portion. So if you're looking at your plate, you're thinking about 1/4 of your plate for the starches. You'll also get a little bit of starches in the curry from the sweet potato, although it is a lower glycemic starch as well. I'm going to serve it up with the rice. Lots of veggies in there. We've got our vegetable protein from the chickpeas. And then we're gonna do a few garnishes on top. I've got avocados, green onions for color. Avocados, great source of those monounsaturated fats similar to olive oil in the Mediterranean diet. And the Greek yogurt is a great alternative to sour cream for your dishes. Here's the final product. Hope you enjoy.